Hello and welcome, I am Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's play some more Bob's Mods and Angel Ores. So I decided against trying to connect the output of this thing directly into a thing, because I want to make all the requisite components ahead of the basic electronic board production area. Let's start off by making some basic electronic components. To do that, first we need to make some tinned copper wire. To do that, we need to take our tin plate and the copper cable, hence why it's bust. Got the tin plate, copper cable. Let's just build it up here. Let's get going. We should be able to start going a little bit quicker now. Also, I've kind of relaxed my opinion a little bit on the whole trying to do pre-beaconed stuff, because I just don't know that it's going to work out. And also, Bob's Mods has upgraded beacons, so eventually all the stuff's going to change, and it's too far in advance to try to plan. So there's all your various inputs. Here's your outputs. We'll do one that's near-handed. We need one that's tin copper wire. The primary thing you're going to need is every half second you're going to need. These inserters are going to have to get sped up. They're not going to be fast enough for now, but the tinned plate should be on the edge. It requires slightly fewer, so using regular inserters instead of the fast inserters does make them a little bit slower if you extend them out to a longer range. And I'm completely okay with that. So tinned copper wire goes on the interior. We're just going to go here. And actually, I'm going to do one extra for reasons yet undisclosed. I will have reasons for you in the future. So there's that, and then we need the tin plates. Okay, tinned copper tin, and that makes the tinned copper wire. And we're just going to bust this because we're going to need it all over the place, and I want to use a lot of belts. Alright, that is that. Next. Sky2121 has subscribed. Again, it looks like we are being limited by the input because these inserters are just not fast enough. We're also being limited by the output because even though they can pick up 3 at a time, they are producing very fast because these machines make 3 per half second. One inserter can just not keep up. Realistically, with a crafting speed of 1, it's going to knock out 3, which one inserter can pick up at a time. It just needs a fast inserter, is all that it needs, and it would be able to keep up. As is. Now, here's the thing, though. Tinned copper wire can be made in a 3:2 ratio. Some more of these things. We could do this. Tinned copper wire into... No, it's not 3:2. 3:2 here. It's 3:2 on the coil. So actually, if we're doing these bits of copper coil... Sorry, tinned coil, we need an extra 6 things making coil to keep up with it. I need 12. Enough to support that and that. But that's assuming we're actually doing full production on both, which we're probably not going to be. Basic electronic components, on the other hand, require a singular bit of tinned copper wire and 1 carbon, so they don't really take that much. I'm going to go ahead and just tie this thing in right here. I mean, we got the outputs right there, so why not, right? Our basic electronic components, let's do our feed of carbon, inputs for carbon, outputs for the components. I would really prefer for the outputs to be a fast belt, but yeah, I should. Yeah, the output should be fast. This is going to make 5 to 1. Granted, it takes like 2 seconds to produce, but... That's carbon. And the carbon up. Carbon is this guy. Okay, carbon in. More power. With the carbon inputs, we need to increase the range on these guys. There's your tin input and carbon input, regular output. There goes your output. Every other should be near-handed. And eventually we'll speed those up to a faster speed. Now again, for now... No, I should have done this the other way around. Why did I do this? I don't know why I did this. Stop everything! It'd make a whole lot more sense to put it on the other side, because then we can just feed it into some other machines if we need to. This should be the carbon. It'll be a tight fit getting in there, but I'll figure out how to do it. We'll find a way. Life finds a way, right? Fill that up on the way back up there. Okay, you're coming in that way now. Carbon goes up. Proper inputs. Settings are fine. You got all your inputs. This is no longer carbon. We're supposed to clean this line out. Now your outputs can go here. Again, still every other is going to be near-handed. And you can go down. You will go onto the bus. We can expand it outward if we need to. But while you're here, if at all possible, we might as well just tie right into this thing. Anything that uses the basic electronic components. So that's going to pretty much just be you. You produce 5, you consume 5. But you consume 5 per 1 second versus production of 5 per 2 seconds. So the ratio is 2 to 1. So... could just go here. Or here. We could have one of the inputs already on hands. We could bring up the basic circuit boards, which we don't really need very many of. It would be better if this thing was closer. Let's do a long-handed output. And every other are going to be nearsighted. We're going to run the other thing up here, which is kind of weird, but it's going to work out in our favor, I think. So you guys get spaced out a bit. Since you're going there, you're going to be the inputs. And since you're going to take up 5 every second, 1 inserter should be sufficient. I'll put you on the bottom rung so you can hopefully grab from both these guys. Okay, so basic boards come in through here. Long-headed inserter. Long-headed inserter. Bring those basic boards back up again. This is my favorite part of Factorio, is working on buses and stuff. Far more fun, I think. Okay. Last thing we need to do is the solder. Normally I'd like to make the solder ahead of it on the bus, but this just kind of worked out in a way that kind of makes sense to me. So this is going to need to be the solder line. Solder in. Outputs there. Just duplicate that then. Okay, solder. One last thing to do, and then we got this thing. We can do filter inserters. We can go do the new angel ore smelting and stuff. Yay. Sorry, the new angel ore refining and stuff. Someone just subscribed. His name is Jerry Pick. Thank you for your subscription. Had quite a few subs tonight. You guys are being pretty generous. Appreciate that. Alright, one last final thing then. To make the solder, we need to just mix together the... We need to make solder plate, which does actually need to be made at a chemical furnace. This is the kind of thing where, you know what? I do this every single time I play Bob's Mods. I don't think there's any reason to run lead down the bus. I think you want to convert the lead into solder plate before you do that. And then once it's solder plate, then you can use the solder plate as a resource component to make the solder. Or no, you could just use resin and just send the solder down the bus. Alright, so here's the thing. I got the resin right here. We got resin, we got tin, we got lead. Need a couple of these metal mixing furnaces. We'll need some fuel. I'm going to cut the lead line here. We have 6 minutes. Just 6 short minutes to make this happen. We'll have the hybrid line there. We'll run a coal line here. Output line on the top and bottom. Inputs, inputs. That is our solder plate now, which is going to get mixed with the resin, and that's it to make the solder itself. So 8 solder takes 2 seconds, and 4 solder plate. We're going to be knocking out 11 solder plate per 7 seconds with a crafting speed of 1. So the crafting speed is not a factor, so it's just going to be 11 over 7. We're going to be making 1.57 solder plate per second times 4 furnaces is 6.286 solder plate per second. But to consume 6.28 solder plate per second, You would not believe how many calculators I have open right now. Every single time I open a calculator, I just press the button on my keyboard, and it opens up a brand new instance of calculator. I have like 40 instances of calculator open right now. Anyway, 6.2 something, and it's going to consume... this is made in, I think, a regular factory, or possibly an electronics factory? Yes. That has a crafting speed of 1. That's good. So you could consume... How many for me? 4 per 2 seconds. It's just 2 per second, and we're making 6. I need 3 of these guys to make the solder plate with 4 furnaces. Okay, works for me. I'm okay with just making it down here, whatever. Which means that we can bring the resin over. This is going to be our solder plate out then. Pop you under. Go. Inputs, inputs, outputs. Let's just make them all long-handed inserters for now. And then we'll do a balancer thing at the end here with a, I can't make hack splitter because I have no iron. I never seem to have any iron on me anymore. I have 3.5 minutes to get the first blue thing being made. Must make it so. Right, in theory, this is the point right here where we go underground. No, it's not. We want to run this... No, it is. Yes, it is. We want to replace this lead line with this. So that will become our solder line. Need power. Need to actually make the connection for coal right here. That is your fuel line. Now we need the lead and tin mixing station. I need more regular splitters. There's your hybrid line, and that should do it. Unless I've done my math completely wrong. Oh, I gotta connect the resin in as well. There's our solder plate. Going in, it's getting mixed with the resin. There's our solder. Solder, solder. I'm gonna keep saying solder. You can't stop me from saying solder. And this replaces the line, and there we go. The hack splitter does the balancing for us right there in line. And lead is now officially replaced. And we'll just clear out the lead line. End up with a whole bunch of junk in my inventory, that's fine. Okay, we have a solder line, which is gonna go up to here. Okay. Are we making them? Are we making them? Are we making the basic electronic boards? That's all I care about. I want more than this. I want more. Need more iron on hand. Alright, the question is, with this much solder, how much can we support? We calculated a moment ago. Well, I thought that I did. I don't know if I got it right. I might not have. Let's see if I can close some of these calculators. Oh, I closed like 4. That's good. Yeah, we're being limited on the input side, but we can make fast inserters now because we have basic electronic boards. Yay! The shortage is over! Very good. All right, let's calculate this out one more time. How much solder are we actually gonna be making here? Ideally, you guys are being limited by output. Looks like we need to speed those up as well. That is true. They're making 8 items per 2 seconds, and a regular inserter can really only move 1 item per second, but it can do triple that because of the stack inserter bonus. So that's like roughly 3. Still not enough. These should be upgraded to fast inserters too. I suppose a near inserter is actually faster, wouldn't it be? We're not consuming enough of this. Anyway, all right. In theory, if this was able to produce it at ideal rates, we've got 8 divided by 2 seconds. That's 4 per second times 3 units. That's 12 solder per second. Consume 12 solder per second. How many of these guys will we need? We're consuming right now 1 per second per machine with a crafting speed of 1. So I need 12 of these guys. Awesome. Let's make more. Also, let's not make all these stupid gears and stuff by hand. Let's go pick some junk up. This video's gonna go just a tiny bit long because I wanna get this thing done. Look at these beautiful circuits. Yay! I'm so excited about doing the Angel Ores thing again. Alright, so we have 2 right now. Let's go up to, I don't know, at least 6. Again, I just calculated out I could support 12. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not too far. Let's at least get this thing going and we can just confirm that it's running properly. And I haven't completely mucked up all the math. That is entirely possible. We'll need to extend the circuitry line as well. All the way up there. We need a lot more of these machines. I need at least a couple more. That's a lot of basic electronic components. Jesus. Stop flashing at me, screen. I don't care. I'm going to continue. Unfortunately, the tinned copper wire does not go up that whole way. I suppose I could just start the production of the tinned copper wire at the end instead of building it here. That would work. Okay, power lines. I only have 5. I don't have the steel to make more. Yes, I do. I have some steel. Good. I have some steel. Nice. It's like I wasn't doing any overlap here. What about here? Slight bit of overlap, but the same spacing. Okay, let's do 4 tinned copper wire machines up here. We're in line with the others. because it really doesn't make any difference, does it? Okay, and then you guys were using regular inserters for now. And you had a long-handed output. And these things were running up in through here. And what were we doing on this whole thing? So this is pretty well set up. I've still got to do all of the darn inserters on this entire column here, and probably check to see how much copper coiling we have. But fast inserter on the bottom, long-handed inserter on the top. I'm just gonna use regular long-handed inserters. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I don't want to have to configure them all. And I know I'm gonna need more fast inserters, so let's get those going. I guess every now and then I'm gonna just have to like space these so that they don't mess up the machines. Okay, long-handed outputs for everyone. Shoot. Circuits galore. Okay, can this overthrow the carrying capacity of the belt is the next question. Every other gets the near side. Okay. I'm not thinking that it can. Also, we have clearly nowhere near enough gears to keep these things all running. I gotta get this going. Ugh. You know what? Long-handed inserters are just so much simpler. This is going on way too long. I need to wrap up the episode. Probably like a half-hour episode. Whatever, I don't care. I want to do it. Let's put you as a thing that Handy Hands needs to keep track of. I'm gonna use these long-handed inserters now. So we're going like long-handed inserters in the bottom row. That's fine. It's just so much faster to do this. Having it configured optimally from the beginning. We're to have a shortage-ish of these things, or there's some other reason why it's only on one side of the belt. there is no wood. Why is there none wood? What happened to my wood? That's something you don't hear every day. Okay. So if we had more of that other thing, if the wood situation wasn't kind of screwed up, we'd be fine. These are all powered now. I think everything's looking pretty good. I still want to run the basic electronic components down onto the bus so we can use them for other things if they're not needed. But, it's just one more problem. I gotta go solve this wood situation. I don't know why there's no wood. We're only at 5 megawatts right now, probably because there's no wood. There's no fuel over here either. That probably explains why science stopped a while ago. We haven't been stockpiling coal at all. I have some on me, though. Are these both kind of screwed up? I get plenty. You get plenty. Just this one, then. You can have all that coal, then. Alright, what the hell happened with wood again? Same damn thing that happened last time. I can't... Ah! How do we solve this problem of having too many saplings? Oh my god, I'm a dummy. The loop doesn't... You're right, the loop doesn't have priority. These things have priority, because they... God darn it. I did it backwards. You guys need to be the secondary, and this thing needs to be the primary. So you should be outputting, like, over here. And then you have to somehow manage to feed onto this thing's line. But inside it. Now you don't have priority. Now if the belt somehow gets full in the interior, you won't add any more because you'll get stuck. Yeah, I mean, eventually I could just use like circuit network conditions or something to guarantee that it can't mess up, but whatever. I'm not gonna figure this problem out tonight. I am too tired. I gotta wrap up the stream, gotta wrap up this episode. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you again in the next episode. I'll see you soon.